So you see, there's certain words in our life that govern. You see, there are certain words inside our lives that govern everyday sales. They govern our memory. They allow us to remember certain aspects of certain situations, circumstances. You see, as we spoke about in tonality, it's not only how you say things, but it's the things that you say that will be remembered. But certain people, most of us, only remember a fraction of whatever is said and whatever we hear. Now that small fraction equates to a certain language, that sales jargon. What that sales jargon will be is certain words like what we need, hundreds of people, most people, you can't afford not to, in my opinion, if I were you, you should do this. A lot of us, they don't remember the meat and potatoes of a conversation. We take what I like to call highlights, which equate to power statements. You see, power statements in Sales Freaks, they really help us dictate the way a sale can and will be made. You see, a sale always buries all the way down into the ground of the aspects of our commonality in language. You see, what I mean by that is this. Very simply said, people remember action. People remember what they want to hear. Now, what do people really want to hear? Well, they want to save money. They want to hear that their neighbors have done it. They want to hear compliments. They want to hear that you're good at what you do. They want to hear your recommendations and what you would suggest. This brings us into power statements. Now, what are the power words? What are those certain words that we hear that we'd like to remember? What will captivate us? What will sell you and what would sell myself? You see, what are the basic commonalities between all sales professionals in all industries alike? In sales, there's a basic language in which we all speak, which becomes innate and unlearned. You see, from birth, we just have strong feelings of aggression. Take a lion, for instance, a lion cub. Innately, it knows it has to go stalk prey for food. Innately, we know that certain language in their tonality is going to dictate to us what to do in a situation. If your mother or father screams at you, you're going to take a little offensive barrier, defensive barrier, right? But if they speak to you nicely, you're going to lean in more, correct? Well, this is what's through experience we have learned. This is what we know. This is what you need to know. That statements as closers we like to use as I am the best at what I do, most people, and many more, although we're not readily aware of the power words in our conversations and or our own presentations. You see, when I teach other salesmen, saleswomen like yourselves and or entrepreneurs of the like, what power statements are, you see, everybody already knows them, but we don't know how to use them. Now, more importantly, let's go into some. Power statements are big, fat claims. It's what I like to call the money, right? What is really going to stick out in consumers' eyes? Let's take selling a car, for instance. If we're selling a car, what does somebody really want to hear? Do they want to hear, hey, I'm probably going to overcharge you, and you're probably going to be quite upset and wonder why your payments are so high at the end of the month after we get out of this presentation? That's not what people want to know. Car salesmen, they have to use certain words. I can get you a deal. If you work with me, I'll go speak to my manager and let's see how we can work with you. Let's see if we can lower your payment. Would you like leather seats and or would you like cloth seats? I myself would appreciate having leather seats more. Actually, most people usually choose the leather. You see, when we speak like that, it's the hottest product in the market. People want to hear what they're purchasing is what everybody else is going to purchase. It's what you're going to purchase. Those are what power statements are. We use them a lot. It's something that the consumer would want to hear that's going to trigger the train of thought that nothing is better. Anything a salesperson says is not always heard Remember that. We just went over that. It's not always heard. Why? Because we ignore things that we really don't care about. That salesman, all he's really trying to get through to the customer is, hey, listen, if you work with me, I'm going to get you a good deal, and that's all the person really wants to hear. The person wants to hear, hey, am I going to pay more for leather? Well, you probably are going to pay more for leather, but this is what most people usually choose. People just want to know that they're not making the wrong decision. They want to know that others before them have made the same decision as they're about to, and or they're being encouraged to. They want to hear that you, as an individual, would make that decision as well. Now, there are a few things which can be remembered in great detail, although there are many things which will be remembered in fragmentations. So take the previous statement, this is the hottest selling product in the market today. Now, if it really is the hottest selling product in the market today, kudos for you, but everything that you have should be the hottest selling product in the market today. Here's what it's going to do for you, Mrs. Jones. Those are the things that people are going to remember. Take health insurance, for instance, and life insurance. I'm a master of it, in a lot of agencies that I have underneath me and some past businesses. Now, the only reason is because, not that I know everything about health insurance on those 8,000-page booklets that they hand out, right? But I know what a consumer wants. They want to know, number one, is the insurance going to cover me in my time of need? Is it going to protect my financial assets? And that's the definition of insurance. Hey, and is this a reputable place? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? So what do we use? Mr. Jones, trust me, I have your back. Most people in your situation usually choose this. The reason why it's the hottest selling product in the market today. If I were you, I would take this because most of the people within your zip code, height and weight, build, and of course health, go with this product. Hands down, it's going to be there for you. Mr. Jones, God forbid, knock on wood, you wind up in a hospital, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be covered. We got your back, Mr. Jones. Trust me. Kill people with power statements. Don't kill people with product knowledge. You can go into the same person and say, hey, listen, Mr. Jones, you're going to have a $35 copay, a $10,000 deductible, and you go to the hospital, you're going to have 80/20 co-insurance, and then that 80/20 co-insurance is going to equate to another $2,000 out of your pocket because you have out-of-pocket max of $10,000. That means that you're going to have $12,000 out of your pocket. Your monthly premium is going to be $300. So at the end of the year, you're going to be paying $3,600 plus another $12,000. Mr. Jones, that's the way the insurance is going to work for you. Who would buy that? They're going to be like, oh my God, that sounds horrible, right? So what do we have to do? We have to kill people with the fragmentations of thought. Mr. Jones, trust me when I say, if you had $1 million bill and this insurance policy took care of you, you're going to appreciate it. Am I right in saying that? Of course. Say things that are going to highlight your product. Take real estate, for instance. If you're selling a house, don't tell people, hey, listen, yeah, the house, it's in the area, they got bad schools, and the house needs a little bit of work. So, don't think you're buying into something that, is just going to be move-in ready. You're going to have to do a lot to it. What kind of real estate agent are you? And trust me, I've dealt with all of these in the past, and I've tried to tell them not to do this kind of stuff. Hence, be honest with your customers, but don't drive a sale away. More importantly, what a real estate agent say, hey, Mike, I got a great investment opportunity for you. Now, in this area, I want to tell you, they're working on the schools. They're working on all the activities and the parks and the recreation, and this is an opportunity for the future. It's a phenomenal investment. If you invest in this, you put a few dollars in, I guarantee you that you can probably make some type of return. Now you're more suitable for the market. You know exactly what you're looking for. Now this is the kind of house that you described to me. Tell me your thoughts. Don't put it in a negative way, but still state the obvious, right? Now, more importantly, let's move on. More importantly is a power statement, and if you're in phone sales or any kind of sales, you should always use it instead of saying or Those are horrible negative words that will deter sales from you. Now, if you know how to use them correctly in certain patterns of speech to make it look like you really are thinking, I think that is phenomenal. Although it makes you sound unintelligent to other individuals when you keep saying, we also have the, don't do that. Always say, and more importantly, to collect your thoughts and to give yourself some time. Hope that makes sense. Another power statement for you. For instance, take the sentence, the stove is steaming hot. What we remember and take from that sentence will be a picture of steam coming off of the stove and the feeling of the heat. We develop pictures of things we hear and create feelings for them as well. The only catch is we will remember the highlights. So what are you going to remember off a steaming stove? If somebody says to you, hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot. The only thing you're going to say is stove hot. Power statements coming out. Stove is hot. Hot stove. Remember that's sales. If you have a phenomenal product that's coming out into the market, I want you to remember that you have to tell people that it is hot. Tell people and encourage people to want to purchase this product. Don't deter them with ugly sales jargon and tell them everything about the product from A to Z. No one really cares. I mean, let's think about this. Have you ever purchased anything online and then read that disclaimer? No, we just check it off, we scroll down, we make it look like we did. But you know what that's jargon, right? What's the power statement? Buy the product, right? We need to remember these things in sales. When you fill all this up, if they didn't ask, you're wasting your time and you're scaring people off. People don't care about it unless they ask. Have the answers if they ask, and be intelligent then, but dumb it down to the ridiculous. You know, they have the KISS principle out there, old school, keep it simple, stupid. Still in reality, and I think it's true. You have to act stupid inside sales. You have to dumb it down to the ridiculous. Never be smarter than a prospect. As soon as you are, they don't want to buy from you because they don't trust you. Everybody wants that deal. So dumb your pitch down, dumb everything down, and throw power statements at them and just say, Mr. Jones, more importantly, I'm here for you. Consider me your liaison into this industry. Mr. Jones, trust me when I say no one knows more about this product than I do. Mr. Jones, what are your concerns? Because you seem like a knowledgeable individual and I want to address them for you. If you compliment somebody and then proceed, it's going to take a snapshot of reality. If you say, hey, Mr. Jones, in my opinion, I suggest that we do this. Now they're going to start to trust you because you're becoming real with them. You're not talking at them, you're talking with them. Power statements are all around us. They're the key to influence. The one key to influence is through power statements. Again, going back to tonality, is the way that you say them. That's the way it's going to represent yourself to the client and represent the product as well. Although, we need to remember power statements are innately built within us. Now, we're going to provide you with a list of power statements, of course. We can't name them all right now for you, or else that pen will be writing for hours upon hours, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of them. But this is how it works. Write that one down, another power statement. Now, we remember blowing out candles on a special birthday, maybe to look in your friend's face at a surprise party, right? Your wedding day, your kid's first word, right? When you won the big event, graduation speech, right? Inauguration speech. We take the same pictures and form snapshots of conversations with people and salespeople. What you hear is what you get in sales, just like WYSIWYG principle. What you see is what you get. What you hear is what you get inside sales. Now remember, the customer is going to formulate a picture of you and your representation of the product. If you don't look good, the product doesn't look good. If you don't sound good, the product definitely doesn't sound good. We need to formulate a correct vision for the client. You want that light bulb and cloud of smoke to go over their head, and you want them to imagine themselves using your product and or owning your product through power statements, the key words. We remember that kid's first word, daddy. Power statement to us. We're going to remember it forever. But it's something that we remember because it's a special event and or it had meaning to it. People don't remember the rest of the sentence. They're just going to remember it if you say, take health insurance for instance, Mr. Jones, you had a heart attack, you're uninsurable. What's the power statement there? Uninsurable, it's a power word in the sentence. Mr. Jones, now, since we can't really qualify you for that product due to some pre-existing conditions, I'm sure we can qualify you for some special programs developed for people inside your situation. As a matter of fact, most people in your situation usually go with this because it gives them the added value and protection that you may need from now and years to come. There's different ways of phrasing things to get people to remember it and hear it with a different contextual value. More importantly, phrases. We have a lot of phrases which must be utilized in normal conversations we wish to control. You see, we have statements below, right here, that's going to influence decisions in your direction. Take Mr. Jones. As an intelligent individual, I suggest that we do this. Mrs. Jones, as an intelligent individual such as yourself, you've been through this many times in the past before. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So if you were me and I was you, we would probably both make the right decision, and that's going with this product. Am I right? Because we know there's no other products that can compare. We know this is going to give you the best value for the dollar. But why am I even telling you that? Because it's obvious to me that you're knowledgeable. You already know that. You've done your research. More importantly, let me ask you, Mrs. Jones, when you place something inside somebody's hands and you use these power statements to make them believe in themselves, you're giving them the power of influence. See, power statements give you that power of influence. How can you use it online? It's the same way. Power statements have to stand out. On the front of your website, hottest selling product in the market, top rated, most people choose. All of our valued clients go with this. You see, when we start building your websites, your URLs, and your blogs, you have to remember that people are buying your power statements. They want to know what you've accomplished. They don't care about the rest. They don't care about your struggles. They don't care about anything. They want to hear what's in it for me. How is this stock going to make me rich? I have a friend who just called me not too long ago. His name is Ron. Real person, real name. He says, Michael, I got a great IPO coming out. I said, excellent. He said, I can't tell you the symbol yet, but I guarantee you it's going to make you a lot of money. I said, perfect. Can't wait to talk to you about it. When can we talk? He says, Monday at lunch. Phenomenal. I didn't even care about the company. I didn't care about anything. All he said was, Michael, I got a great IPO. I can make you some money. Let me in the door. Sold me with power statements. You understand? Power statements sell. All we want to hear as individuals, we need to make money, right? Great investment. The return on my investment. Mr. Jones, your monthly premium will only be. Mr. Jones, grab a voided check and bring it to the phone and I'll hold. Mr. Jones, here's what we have to do. Michael, here's what we should do to get into the new IPO. Michael, if you want to make money, listen to me. Hold my hand. Consider me your liaison into the industry. Michael, more importantly, I know this business. Back and forth. Here's what we need to do. See, when we talk about all these things, a man of your stature obviously can see. If other people inside your situation understood like you do, you're an entrepreneur, you're a salesman, and or you're that 1%er, the individual that wants more out of life. And you're going to do things that other people won't do. Is that correct? The reason why we're going to do things that other people won't do is because we want to get to a different level. Michael Jordan went to practice before and stayed after. This was a guy who got kicked off his high school basketball team. Coach said that you just don't have it, right? That's the same guy that owns a basketball team today. Has shoes and clothes named after him. Air Jordans. This is a guy that never gave up on his dreams. And don't you, but you remember that life is a big power statement. And you can either use it, abuse it, or lose it. Period. I hope that makes sense to you. More importantly, compliment. We have to learn to compliment and proceed. When adding a compliment to a sentence and statement, you begin to gain the trust of the client as well as their support in your favor. Think about one thing for a quick second. If someone called you intelligent, how would it make you feel? Would it make you feel, what is this guy up to? Or would it make you feel, oh, thank you? Are you ever going to tell somebody, I'm not intelligent? How dare you say that to me? I don't know anything about this. And if they do, that's the wrong customer that you have on a phone in the first place, or maybe the right one, depending on who you're speaking to. But as soon as you compliment and proceed, and I get in trouble with this in my relationship because I go over it all the time, and I always get flack for it. And he says, you're trying to sell me. I said, I'm really not. I'm really complimenting you, right? If you say to somebody, you look absolutely stunning today. Can I ask you a quick question? As soon as you compliment somebody, it puts them in a state, a good positive state. If you tell somebody, God, you look atrocious, you should go change, all of a sudden you're the A, blank, 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 whole, right? So think about that for a second. Honey, you look absolutely stunning today. Honey, you look atrocious. Two totally different things, right? One's a power statement, one's not. One's compliment and proceeding. The other one is, wow, man, you just ruined your night and maybe week, right? So let's think about this. How is it going to make you feel if somebody says, you know what, somebody as intelligent as yourself obviously understands? You're obviously watching this section based upon power statements because you're a smarter individual than most of the ones we come across. You know, you don't want to be the other 80%. You want to be the elite. You want to be the top seller inside the industry. Am I right in saying that? You want to be able to take your product to market and understand the conceptual value that it can bring to an individual. You want to understand the industry. You want to understand the marketplace. You want to understand how to make money. Am I right? All power statements. Because you know what? It is reality. Power statements are reality. You can't sell fluff. Fluff doesn't sell anymore. You have to sell yourself. You have to sell the words that come out of your mouth. Sell the words that people are going to remember. Because every picture has a story to tell. Now, it depends how you paint the picture. That's the way it's going to tell the story. Uses. Health insurance is essential in every household. More importantly, do me a favor. Phenomenal aspect about this program is you're actually going to understand how to use power statements in everyday language. Most people usually choose, Mr. Jones, most people usually go with this because it gives them a better return on their investment, Mr. Jones. Now, I've seen the others, but a lot of people call me up and ask for this product by name. Trust me, Mr. Jones, I have your back. No one's going to work harder for your business than myself. Mr. Jones, I work the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday all the way through Friday for you, Mr. Jones. No one's going to work harder for you. Trust me when I say that. More importantly, no one has my training and or resources, Mr. Jones. Now, when you ask me a question, if I don't know the answer, I'm the kind of guy that's going to walk right over to my sales manager and or the CEO of my company to get you the correct information. You see, Mr. Jones, I go above and beyond for all of my clients because every single one of them is valued, whether they have $1,000 with me and or $100,000 with me. Everybody is of equal value. Will I give you more attention or more support, Mr. Jones? Equally, you will receive that from myself. Now, here's what we have to do from here. All power statements. I want you to get to know them, get to use them, and then think about your industry. Then write down 20 power statements, just 20 power statements on your products and or services, because I sell both. I sell products and we sell services. Think about both. What makes your product stand out from anybody else's? What makes you different? Because the difference in the end is always going to make the difference. More importantly, why do we need to hear it? We just went through a lot of things. Why do we need to hear I'm the best at what I do? What kind of feeling does that give to somebody? Now, if I told you, yeah, I'm mediocre, I'm okay at what I do, I'm like the middle-tiered sales guy inside my organization, how is that going to close somebody or make somebody feel if you're over the phone with them and or face-to-face? Who wants to deal with the middle guy? Who wants to deal with the lower guy? Now, let's say Citibank. If a junior associate calls you from their office over in Oklahoma compared to the CEO of Citibank, who do you think is going to give you better information? The question is, you really don't know. But we assume it's going to be the CEO, don't we? We assume whoever has that status is going to have more information to help us, right? I am the best at what I do, Mr. Jones. Hands down, there's nobody else better. Let me ask you a quick question, Mr. Jones. Hottest selling product in the market. I tend to hear that a lot, Mr. Jones. Agree with people, don't disagree with them. If they say, I heard about your company and on a BBB they said this. Mr. Jones, I tend to hear that often. Actually, I hear that a lot, Mr. Jones, and the reasons why are, BBB is a collection of angry customers. And you know what? They never look at the other hundreds of thousands of people that are in the books that are completely happy and satisfied. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like something, Mr. Jones. Isn't that why there's more than one man and more than one woman inside the world? If everybody only liked one, it would be very confusing. Am I right in saying that? Exactly, Mr. Jones. We always have bad things and good things to say about anything because our opinion counts. Those things are only for the people that want to give their opinion to others for whatever reason. And a lot of those things were always cleared up and or rectified, and they never give the solutions on them. Mr. Jones, hands down, let's do this. You are an intelligent person. You seem knowledgeable on this, right? We already went over all those, haven't we? More importantly, asking for power money. Your monthly investment, your return will be. If you invested in this today, your monthly premium. Initially, here's what I want to say to you. Whenever you say to somebody, a phenomenal aspect about this program is the return on your investment. Mrs. Jones, the most exciting part about this product will be the return on your money. You see what I mean is this. You're going to be able to have this product from now and years to come. Now, Mrs. Jones, when we break that down to the ridiculous, it's a small investment for a huge return. Am I right in saying that? Whenever I ask for money in our business over the phone, we always say, please grab a voided check. If you put void in front of something, it creates that power statement. A power statement to say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to take your money, but right now I want you to detail and highlight your financial records. All holds. Please grab a voided check and bring it to the phone. People will do these things if you put it subtly. But when you slam somebody, say, grab a check for me and we'll get this taken care of. All of a sudden, they feel like they have money coming out their pockets. People don't like to spend their money. They want to spend other people's money. So what do we have to do? Put it in a nice, subtle way. Mr. Jones, do me a favor and grab a voided check. I'll hold. Let's detail and highlight your financial records together. No matter what business you're in, if you're in investment, if you're in real estate, if you're in auto sales, if you're in insurance sales, P&C, life, or health, or ancillary business, DI. We all have to say, let's detail and highlight your financial records at this time. When you do that, it creates everything in a professional atmosphere. Instead of saying, hey, I need your money right now, go write me a check, Visa or MasterCard, which one do you want, right? Don't use that old alternative of choice stuff. Alternative choice clothes, it still works, but there's no power in it. Here, you're wording things differently with the correct tonality to let somebody know, hey, listen, you're making a sound investment with me. This isn't a fly-by-night organization. This is real, Mr. Jones. Grab a voided check, let's detail and highlight your financial records. And when you do it, it doesn't feel like somebody's giving you the money. So when you ask for money, use power words instead. Mrs. Jones, their premium on this product is only going to be, and always say it's only going to be. Mrs. Jones, this is the lowest premium with the highest value. Now, as soon as you start saying cost and all these other bad words in sales, cost, price, oh, God, man, who wants to do that? This is only going to cost you $59 a month. Well, as soon as you said cost, now I'm thinking about what? That's a power statement you just gave me. Now I'm thinking about money coming out of my pocket. That's not a good power statement. Mrs. Jones, your premium is only going to be $59 a month with a return on investment of a value of X. Your monthly premium, if you invested in this today, Mr. Jones, this product will last you over the next 5 years. Now, broken down into 5 years, you're buying a $50,000 car. Now, Mr. Jones, that purchase may seem substantial to you, although the investment is not. Let me explain why. For $10,000 a year, Mr. Jones, you want to know what your return is going to be? Happiness, Mr. Jones. You're going to be able to drive in the car that you want, experience life the way that you want it, and guess what, Mr. Jones? These are years that you'll never get back. So if you settle on something that's not right, that's not what you ultimately wanted, guess what's really going to happen? Well, Mr. Jones, you're going to regret your decision. And it's hard to roll back on those decisions, Mr. Jones. Don't let things get ugly. Prevent it before. More importantly, let's go ahead and do this. Because most people inside your situation usually make the right choice, and that is X. All power statements. It's your turn to make the money. Your turn to make the money you've always dreamed of. But in order to do that, you have to learn your tonality,